Welcome to the Quimby Chronicles Momcast, where we talk about all things motherhood, family, and keeping your sanity through it all. On today's episode, we're talking about why having interests and hobbies outside of motherhood is a must, not a luxury. We're getting real about that who I am outside of being a mom crisis, how to carve out time for yourself, and how to find your thing again. Because trust us, you still got one. Ready to join the conversation? Come on in.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Quimby Chronicles Momcast, where you guys already know we talk about the real and the struggles and the positives and all the good things, everything in between about motherhood. And today we have, first I'm Chante.
And I'm Traci, and today we're going to be talking about something I know. And you know what? We always be like, oh, something that y'all need to hear, or something that we need to hear, or something we don't talk about. So, again, it's something that we need to hear. And today we're going to talk about who you are outside of motherhood. Because let's be for real. Who are you outside of motherhood?
Right. And because too many of us wake up one day and we're like, I don't even know what I like to do anymore. I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, you have a little bit of identity crisis when you get really deep in the depths of motherhood. It is truly a struggle at some point. And, we tend to forget that we're people first and not moms and wives and whoever, partners, whatever. We forget that we are people first.
Would you say, Shantae, 1,000%?
1,000%.
1,000%. So today we're going to be talking about why it's important for us to have hobbies and interests and passions outside of motherhood. Because at the end of the day, yes, we're these kids' mamas, but we're also so much more.
Period. You guys clock it, clock it. I know I keep lying to y'all saying I'm gonna do my nails. One of these days, one of these weeks, it'll be true. It'll come true at some point. But before we get into it, you guys make sure you grab your little beverage, your wine, coffee, tea, whatever it may be, your snacks, whatever you need to get comfy. And we're gonna get into it. And you guys, make sure you subscribe, leave us a comment, a review. Would like to do, share us with a mom that you think needs to hear what we have to say, anything like that, and we will get right into it.
Let's keep it real. How many of y'all have ever been asked, what is it you like to do? And I know, like, for me, I was just asked just recently because, your girl is getting back out there. So I was just asked that recently, the first time, well, not recently, but, but the first time somebody asked me that, I had no idea what I was going to say. Like, I had no idea what I like to do. Who's with me?
It's crazy because the way that, mind you, I was asked the same question, and by my mother, she asked me the other day, we were talking on the phone, and she's like, Shantae, what are even your hobbies? What do you even like to do? I just sat there on the phone and just stared at her because I had no answer. I literally just sat there and just looked at her like, that's a great question that I really wish I had the answer to, because like I said, I am just now starting back getting into the things that I like. And, I like the stuff like the lashes and the nails and the facials and all that.
Right.
So that's where the direction that I'm heading in. But my mind literally just went completely blank. Like, I was just completely put on the spot, and I was just looking at her like,
That's funny.
great question.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing. And that's why we're having this conversation today. Because Shantae and I, like she said, we had this conversation. And so many times we're always thinking and doing things for everybody else. And we forget about ourselves. And, so we have to start being more intentional about taking time for ourselves. And, we need to remember or bring back that person we were before we had kids.
Once again, clock it. And, as the kids get older and we actually get free time, then we're sitting there like, you're sitting there on a random afternoon, your kids are in school, and you're just like, okay, what do I do now? Like, what happens now?
Yeah.
Next.
Exactly. And that's the thing, like I said, that's why we got to be intentional. We got to keep that sense of who we are, that sense of self. Because, like, for me, yes, I'm a mom, but I'm also a woodworker or a crafter, whatever you want to call it. And I love to garden.
Exactly. And I know some of you guys that are out there listening may be thinking, but I don't have time for hobbies, or I don't have time to try to find something new. Some of you are thinking, I don't even have time to myself, so I definitely won't have time for a hobby. And, we get that, but when there's a will, there's a way. So we're going to get into that.
Okay, so let's talk solutions. We talk about what the problem is. Let's talk solutions. How in the world are you going to fit a hobby in when you got kids that get up early, you got school drop-offs, you got to clean up, you got to make dinner, get the kids put down? How do you fit a hobby into that jam-packed schedule?
Well, first things first, you need to stop waiting for the free time to show up and schedule that in.
Right.
With that comes in many forms, whether you want to use it towards a hobby, schedule in a nap, schedule in a little breather, breakdown, whatever you need to do. If you just need to schedule 5 minutes to just stand there and scream, you go ahead and do that. You need to schedule in and make an effort towards creating your me time.
Right. That's big facts. I mean, anytime. Because if you right now, you at zero time that you take for yourself, then even if you get, like Chante said, 5 minutes, if you get 5 minutes, then that's 5 minutes more than you had last week or last month or whatever. So if it needs to be something that gradually gets, to be a longer time, then that's fine. But start small, but you got to start somewhere. Okay.
Exactly. Like, say you're in the car alone, you're going grocery shopping or coming back from grocery shopping, whatever the case may be, you sing your heart out. Like you are at a sold out concert and you're the opening act. Like you just need to let it out. Or you're in the shower, in the bath, perform, put on a whole concert if you need to, because that's sure what I do. I have my speaker going in there. You can't tell me I'm somebody's backup singer when I'm in there. I'm telling you, all of it makes a difference. Even if it's just the 5 minutes, that five could make a difference. And you could be listening to podcasts, you could be talking to other people. You need to make some form of me time.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Dedicated to something that doesn't have anything to do with parenting. So right. Your mom brain has that switch off moment.
Right. And I mean, and then let's talk about the benefit of having a partner or a friend or a family member or somebody who will take the kids. Because let's be real, everybody knows how draining it is to be a mom from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. Everybody knows how exhausting it is. Well, probably except dads. They may not know, but a lot of people know how draining it is to be a mom. So if you have somebody that's willing to take the kids, like if they have, kids of similar ages and they're like, oh yeah, bring the kids over for a play date. What? Honey, I am dropping these children off. You hear me? Like, and to be for real with you, like my youngest daughter, her father, there's some days where I'm like, hey, you getting these girls or what? Because like I told y'all before, I have a 6-year-old and then my 5-year-old niece, we all live together. So yeah, so some days I'm like, oh, you getting these girls or what? Because sometimes we just need a break. It's the constant mommy, 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 auntie, auntie, auntie. Can I have? I'm hungry. I don't want to take a bath. But why do I have to take? It's just the constant and I want to scream sometimes. So, that's definitely something I take advantage of. I will be like, hey, come get these children. And I'll be honest about it. And I'll be like, yeah, because we need a break. Like they're stressing us out. We need a break. So definitely if you have that friend or family member, take advantage of it. And when that friend or family member gets the kids, I mean, you can do something like take a nap. But if you always wanted to take a pottery class, or you always wanted to do a pole dancing class, honey, go do your thing. Because I support it, okay? I support it. I support it. Drop them kids off and go on about your business without feeling guilty, okay?
Because just a trip to, say, like Home Goods or Marshalls or anything like that, it feels like you're on a little mini vacation. You don't have, well, for my instance, I don't have two toddlers sitting there screaming in my face, I want this. Mommy, can I have this? Mommy, I want to do that. No thanks. And my 3-year-old, for those of you that don't know, he is very sassy. Like, you say anything to him, not right now, leave me alone, please. And I'm just like, oh. So toddlers and all their big feelings and My other toddler, she can talk, but not really. I only know what she wants, so I'm just sitting there looking at her while she's screaming at me, and I'm like, girl, I don't know. I don't know. So you really do have to take advantage of these moments that you have without your kids. And if someone's offering, obviously, if you trust them, let them take your kids. Let them. I miss it. I'm about 20 hours away from all of my family, so I can't just, hey, I'm gonna bring the babies over. I can't do that. I cannot. So I miss it. So if you have the opportunity, take it. Take advantage and go have some me time.
Absolutely. And I mean, and don't feel like you have to pick up some complicated hobby that you got to go to like a technical school and take a class or nothing. I mean, something simple. Get you a library. If you love reading like I do, get you a library card and go get some books and read. And we ain't even going to talk about my library card because I borrowed some books. Oh, it's probably coming up. I ought to be embarrassed. It's probably coming up on 2 years now that I've had these people books. And I mean, I've read probably half. And in my head, I'm like, why return the first half if I ain't read the second half?
Oh, goodness. You're gonna say a couple of months that genuinely caught me off guard too.
No. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
I'm not trying to laugh at you, but that really had me floored.
You know,
Man, that brought tears to.
I like to read, but the thing is, and I have to take our advice also. I have to make time, because for like, especially for Chante and I, we have what we have going on in separate lanes. And then once a week, we come together, we do this, we record the podcast, we talk about what we're doing next, we talk about content. So that also takes up a lot of time. And I'll say that I'm very proud of us because we are committed and we have been committed this time. Because, last year, hey,
Just life out. Our bad.
Life last year. But that's the thing. Once life starts to get in the way, the first things that get cut are the things that we love to do individually, and that's not fair to us. It's definitely not fair to us. So, like with this podcast, honey, I don't care what is going on. Okay. Y'all girls, y'all need to be quiet. Do you want to go over your dad and your uncle's house or what? Or you could go watch this movie. You could go out on the back. I don't care what they do, but I'm going to do this because this is something that I'm passionate about and I'm going to get it done. I'm going to make time to get it done because all the rest of the day I've been listening to you sing songs and singing the wrong lyrics. I've been listening to you read. I've been arguing with you that a word says something when you trying to tell me no, but you've been reading for 2 seconds. Like, all day long. It's been back and forth. Me and you, like, no, go about your business. I need time. So, when life starts lifing, we need to not cut out the things that we love first. Because I feel like those things that we do individually are the things that bring us joy. They're the things that recharge us. They're the things that make us better people, better mom, better sister, better daughter, like whatever. So I really, this year has been, it's been a shitty year. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's been a shitty year so far. And it's only March. Yeah, it's only March. So my hobbies and especially like this podcast is something that's keeping me grounded and it's keeping me looking forward to something, while life is whooping my tail. The podcast is something to look forward to. So that is definitely something that I personally am taking stock of and I am holding myself accountable. Well, I gotta hold me and Chante accountable because I be trying to fire her like every other week because she don't ever do her part. But
I will admit that, guys, she pulls about 95% of the work. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and act like I'm just doing it up over here. No, I'm not. I am awful. I am an awful teammate. But I will get it together at some point. I will. We're just
I got faith.
I'm trenches.
So find something that you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be expensive. Like I said, you can read. You can learn a new skill online. They got YouTube channels, honey. YouTube University is on and popping. Okay, you can learn anything from YouTube. When I was in nursing school, we learned how to do colostomy care from a YouTube video. I was in class. They legit pulled up a video of a mom changing her daughter's or her son their colostomy bag. YouTube University is the thing. Get out there, do that. And even like Chante was talking about skincare, getting into skincare as a hobby. Because let me tell you something, okay? Because I thought skincare was just, oh, you wash your face, you put toner on, you put moisturizer on. Baby, I be watching these people online and I be listening to Chante and I listen to my other daughter, Jasmine. They be like, yeah, because you need this, blah, blah, blah. I be like this. So skincare can be a hobby.
Not to cut you off, but the crazy thing is, my mom, she'll come with these videos. Well, look at that. And she looks, and then we're telling her the steps that she needs to take to achieve the results in the video. And that's exactly how she sits there and just looks at us. And I'm just wondering, I'm like, was she serious? Or like, does she actually want me to tell her? Or does she just, is she serious or no? Because I never really know with her. She'll be like, oh yeah, and this looks so good. And I wish my skin, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, so then you need this. I don't want to do all that. Okay, mom. Okay. Okay. With her, there's no in between. It's either she'll do it or she's not. So, but at least keeps it real and she keeps it honest. So, and she's consistent. That's the thing. She is consistent. So you got to give her props for all of those. Her ear off, giving her all the recommendations, the list. I could probably set up a whole Amazon list for her and she won't even look at it. But she is consistent and honest. So she gets points for that. 1,000.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, guys. So if you're out there listening and thinking, okay, where do I even start? What do I do? How do I go about this? You guys already know. We got you. We got you. So let's talk through this. Let's figure this out.
Okay, so what I recommend, the first thing you ask yourself is what's something that you used to love to do before life got crazy. I've had kids for a long time, so hold on.
Like, I could feel old. I'm the first one. Don't.
For 23 years, I really don't know what I used to do before kids, but I know for a good chunk of time now, probably since all the kids were little, I used to always love like woodworking, crafting stuff. Because, honey, I've replaced toilets. I've put down hardwood floor before. I've put down tile. I've helped make a privacy fence. I made a garden. I think we have built like this little bench out of bamboo one time. So for the longest, that's been where my passion has been because, first of all, it gets you moving, number one. And then number two, you get to see something in its raw state. And then when it's finished, you get to be like, I did that. I did that. And like it used to only be like that about your kids. You'd be like, oh, I did that. Look at my pretty kids. Well, now you got stuff that you could count on. I'm mad you're raising your hand.
Please. I didn't want to cut you off.
So go ahead.
So now that I'm hearing all this, because I actually thought that you know how to put down hardwood floors and all that, because I remember you doing that in that house in Alabama. I remember that. And I forgot until you said it. So hearing is whenever we buy our house, you're going to come and help, is what I'm hearing.
Baby, that was, how many years ago was that? That was a lot of years ago. I don't know if these
23, but so you're going to come and help me. It was
five.
Supervise. I guys can't be choosers. I get it. That because I know what type of hardwood floor I want in my house and everything. It's okay.
I'll come and supervise. I got you.
Can I supervise with you?
No.
Why?
Because it's your house. You see how you said when we get our house? You see how it works?
Like both be supervising.
No, you both. You and your husband will be working.
But why can't and like somebody else do it and me and you supervise, Like two supervisors.
If it's okay with Daddy, it's okay with me.
Yeah, she got me, guys, because she already knows. She already knows how my husband gets down. He's going to be like, no, this was your idea. This is what you want. You're going to come and help. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I would say like things that I enjoyed doing. So for me, this is kind of a loaded question. So before I had my kids, I really liked pretty much like anything to do with like makeup altogether, makeup and skincare. Like that's always been my thing for for as long as I can remember at this point, I've always had like a little knack for like things to do with makeup and skincare and all that. Because for those of you that don't know, when I was in high school, my entire freshman year, I would wear this specific winged eyeliner every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day. And then it's like my eyebrows became my staple. So like that was just my statement piece. I've just been through it all. But that's what I liked before. But like now after, I still like that stuff. But I've also been getting in, and mind you, this will probably shock anybody that knew me before I even moved here. But I have really been enjoying like cooking and baking things lately, which is such a shocker because when I was living with my mom, I didn't want anything to do with cooking. If we're being completely honest, I didn't want anything to do with any sort of cooking or anything like that. But now that I was kind of forced to learn, it's like I like it, even though I didn't really have much of a choice because now I'm running my own household. So like if I don't cook, we don't eat. So now that I was kind of thrown into it, I actually enjoy it. And I was talking probably like a couple weeks ago saying that next year I want to get a KitchenAid, the stand mixer, or I might be able to later this year. Who knows? Who knows? But there's other things that I want to get first. But I really want a stand mixer, one, because then I could be doing things and then my kids would be able to help, dropping things down to the bowl, stuff like that, so I can include them. But I'm definitely my mother's child. I love doing things that coordinate with the seasons. So if it's Christmas, we can be sitting there mixing up Christmas cookies or whatever the case may be and be decorating them and all that. I love that type of stuff. I don't know what the specific name for it is, but I love that type of stuff. Like Valentine's Day, I saw like these red cinnamon rolls and I saw like these heart pastry. I'm like, I want to make those. I want to make those. Never got the chance to, but I did save them for a later time. But I have been loving stuff like that probably like the past, I'd say like 4 or 5 months now. I have been really getting into it, saving like all these different recipes on TikTok. Like I've been in my bag. I do need to get more content on that stuff to show you guys, but I've been in my bag. I know. You guys see how she's looking at me because she's been telling me this all the time. My friend Sylvia tells me this all the time. Both of them sell me out, but eventually it'll click and lock in at some point. It will, I promise. But that's been something that I don't know that I've really been interested in, and I don't think that's something that I would get bored doing because it's not like I would, turn that into my life. Like I wouldn't go to culinary school or anything like that, but I just enjoy doing little things like that.
Mhm.
Speaking on that, what would you say is something that you do that would get you caught up and, losing track of time? You're like, oh, wow, I've been enjoying myself so much. I didn't even realize it was so and so time.
For me, it would have to be the things that I named off: the crafting, the woodworking, reading, and writing. So that's one thing that I used to love. I've always. I mean, and when I say always, I could think back to when I was like 7. I had this little pink notebook. It was like this big, it was this wide, and it had the little pink lines in it. And I used to just write. And ever since then, I've always had a journal, like always some kind of journal. I know I talked to y'all about my journal on the app day one before, but always, like I've always loved to write. So those are the things that once I start doing them, I lose track of time. I know the other day, what was I doing the other day? I was doing something the other day and I was supposed to go pick up Jasmine from work. And by the time, and I didn't set an alarm because I'm like, you know what? I got it. Well, well, I left the house late. So she had to wait like 15 minutes and I felt bad. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But, I lost track of time. So for me, it's those things. It's writing, reading, crafting, woodworking, gardening. Not so much because it'd be too hot outside. So not so much. No. I take frequent breaks when I'm gardening. Yeah, so not gardening. What about you?
I would say anything that's like, I don't know, like freshening up a space, like moving around furniture and stuff like that. Like I could spend all day just moving stuff around, see what
Yeah.
works, doesn't. anything decor wise. Like I rearrange the kitchen every couple of months, and my husband comes home from work like, okay, see, you did, because each time I'm like, no, this is my favorite way. I'm gonna keep it this way until we move out. No, the next month it'll probably be different again because I cannot help it. I love doing things like that to like freshen up the place that I'm in, because me, I don't like feeling like everything is the exact same every single day. So I like to switch it up. And once again, I am my mother's child. Like I will be up at like 2 o'clock in the morning if I have a random burst of energy, moving around furnitures, moving the bed, and just all type of that. Love doing like little, I guess like house projects, you could call it. Love doing random stuff like that. And I have like so many TikToks saved of things that I want to do. I already know how I'm gonna set up my coffee bar, the bar area. Like it's all up here. I'm in the era of bringing my Pinterest board to life. Even though I didn't make a Pinterest board, I will make one and then I will bring it to life. So that's the things that I love. I could literally spend all day looking at decor and seeing the way that people set things up. I just love, if you look at my TikTok, I promise you, that's all it is. That is all. Because once I now figured out my style, now I know how to work on it other parts of the house and do things how I like. Obviously, the kids' room will be the kids' room because I'm not gonna force them to have, what do they call it, like sad beige moms. I'm not gonna force them to have like completely beige rooms and stuff like that. Who wants green? Selena didn't pick a color, so she's getting pink. But they're gonna have Selena can't pick a color, so she's gonna be pink until she change it. But I already have all the stuff that I want for Luca's room, all the stuff for Selena's room. All of it is it's coming together in my head, but it'll come together in the real world too at some point.
Right. And I will tell you, you say you get it from me. Well, let me tell you something. I get it from my mother. Okay. Because talk to either of your aunts, they used to call me and your grandmother the great movers.
Yes, I remember that.
Rearranging, moving something all the time, all the time. So it's been passed down. It's been passed down. So it's your turn. I mean, I still do it too, but not as much because it's just too much stuff. So not as much.
Love it. I love doing stuff like this.
So the third thing to think of is there something that you always wanted to try? Because it's not too late to pick up a new skill or a new hobby or something like that. So what's something that you've always wanted to try?
So how you mentioned the pottery class earlier, I don't remember how many years ago this was. This was definitely like some years before I had Luca. I'm pretty sure I was still maybe like my sophomore year or something like that. We took a trip down to Lakewood Ranch. And this was around the Christmas time. We stopped, you know what time I'm talking about? We stopped at the Starbucks and was walking around and stuff like that. We walked past and saw that they had a pottery class. And ever seeing it there, I have always wanted to try pottery in real life. Always wanted to. Like I even consider getting like the little tabletop, I don't even know what it's called, but the thing that spins, they make some for the table. Say it again.
I think it's called a pottery wheel.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I found like a tabletop one where it has like a pedal, like how you would use for like a nail file or something like that. So you're stepping on the pedal and it'll spin while you're doing the pottery. I I probably did save it. Not saying that I think I did. I most likely did. I have a list in my Amazon labeled arts and crafts. That's probably where it is. But I always wanted to try pottery, and I tried getting the elective all 4 years. Well, a and a half. But every single time I had the option, I tried to get the pottery class that we had in my high school. Never got it. But I ended up with like driver's ed. I always had band. I had band all of the years. Driver's ed. I don't even remember.
The
Oh
child.
yeah, early childhood education class. I love that class. It was like an early childhood education class on top of a daycare, so we were getting like real world hours and training and stuff like that because people like I'm pretty sure some teachers had their kids in there also, but we would get to actually watch kids and learn the stuff about that with the DCFS training and all that good stuff. I have always wanted to try pottery and paint, which I plan on doing that at home eventually. I already found the easels and the pictures, and you can find wine anywhere, so that's not hard to find. But I have the setup. There's like a little tabletop fireplace that I found. Set the nice, and once I get all that set up, you guys will see that content too. But I've lately been getting into like the arts and crafts stuff, like the coloring and the painting, all that stuff. So I love it. What about you?
It was my thing. So one of my best friends, Marquita, and I, we have been talking probably for like the last 3 years about this pottery class we want to take. And that's all that's happened. We've talked about it. We like, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to plan it. Hasn't happened yet, but I got my fingers crossed. That's going to happen sometime soon. I don't know. Well, sometime. I won't even say sometime soon because we've already been talking about it for years. So I'm not even going to say sometime soon. It'll happen sometime. Okay.
Love that for you. But you guys hear all these different ideas that we're tossing out. So you guys go to that dance class, start the blog, start your YouTube channel, start your content creation journey, learn how to bake, start a garden. There's options out there. You could even look it up on Pinterest, like new hobbies to pick up.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And there's so many different options out there.
So many resources
You could do, and you're not just focused on your kids 24/7, because we know how easy it is to be focused on your kids 24/7. But having that me time, you specifically having intentional time with yourself, is very important for your mental, physical, emotional, all the health, all of them.
Absolutely. I mean, and you got to remember, nobody's telling you that you got to be perfect. Nobody's telling you that, whatever hobby you pick, that you got to go pro, and if you pick a hobby and you don't like it, pick another one. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, not making it too complicated and getting caught up in it and stuff like that. So that's why I said, things don't necessarily have to be expensive. Groupon is a good place to get something, like get your feet wet with something. If you want to do like a sip and paint, you can find them on Groupon. There's all types of different things. If you want to get involved in skincare, look on Groupon. So Groupon is a good source for finding, new things. And then it's not that much money, depending on what you pick. So just get out there and do something and do it for you. Okay.
All right, guys, we know we did a whole bunch of yapping this episode, but if this episode got you thinking, then, well, that's our hope. We hope that it got you thinking in the first place. And we want to challenge every mom that's hearing this into, like this week, schedule time for yourself, find a new hobby, find something that you want to do with no guilt, none of that. You need to find something for just yourself, non-kid related, and commit to it.
Right. And then after you do that thing, tell us, come back and let us know what you did. So we are also going to subject ourselves to this challenge. So we're also going to pick something this week that we're going to do just for ourselves. And then we're going to let you know what that was. So yeah, because we want to hear what you did. Yeah, we want to hear what you did. I was going to say, I don't know if y'all want to hear what we did, but we're going to tell y'all anyway,
Yeah.
We're going to tell. So yeah, so once you pick your hobby and you pick your thing that you're going to do for yourself this week, let us know what it is. Because, the thing about it is, and we always talk about, the Quimby Chronicles, that, our goal is to build this community. And in a community, one person may think of something that never even crossed your mind. And you're like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. So definitely let us know your ideas, the things that you've done for yourself. And then, maybe it can help somebody else or give somebody else an idea to do something.
Most definitely, because we love when you guys talk to us. And obviously, being the yappers that we are, we love talking to you guys. But, all in all, that's it for today, guys. And you please make sure you're following the Quimby Chronicles on the social medias. That's Instagram, TikTok. Listening to the podcast, we're on Spotify. Are we on Apple, right? Apple Podcasts, YouTube. You guys already know our spiel. We're the same handle on all the TikToks, the Quimby Chronicles. Guys, know where to find us. And if you loved this episode, share it with your girls or whoever you feel like needs to hear this, because we love talking to everybody.
Amen. So until next time, keep growing, keep glowing, and go just be more than mom, mommy, mama. Okay, this week. So we'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning into the Quimby Chronicles Momcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and join us next time as we tackle more of the beautiful chaos that is motherhood.